someone made a post on Reddit about how do you make your paths, your roads. So I thought I would show how I do mine, how I make little variations in the ground, and what else I can do to make it look a little better. So let's check it out. These are some pretty neat roads here on Edgewater, Saskatchewan. I like to improve them just a little bit. I haven't done this one, but I was wanting to put in another road coming out the backside of this particular farm, and I just thought I'd show you my process and bring along for the ride. Going into the construction menu here, one of the things I do is drive a tractor or a semi where I want to go. You can see I was driving my tractor here with triples on it, so that gets my path, the nice curve. I can really see where I want to go. And now this map, they've put several different gravels down, which I really do like. Now, is this the lighter one? Yes, it is. No, that's the dark one. So I like to do or start with like a lighter gravel here, and I'll just follow my tracks a bit, and I increase the size of my cursor a couple times just to make sure that I have nice wide tracks. And you can see now I can drive a big tractor on the path that I am making here, and I'm going to make my tracks, and then that should be good. Maybe increase that a bit. Now I've got the tracks here basically how I want them, and then in the edges I like to use the mossy colored one, and I'm gonna make my cursor a little bit smaller and just go along the edge, and if it overlaps a little bit, that is fine, but it gets it so it gets that transition going into the grass, and that's what I want. And then I'll do it along here as well. And this is going to make for a fairly wide road. They don't have to be this wide. If you want it a little narrower, you can overlap on the existing gravel that you already put down. And so in the center, I'm going to change it up just a little bit. I'm going to put spots of this gravel along here, and that's good. Now the forest ground, I kind of like this, and I'm going to go even smaller again because it adds these darker patches in here. And I might, oh, that's not going to do it there. I might do a little bit there just to get that color in. I also like to do it along the edges of the road, just kind of another transition. I'm actually gonna make this bigger. Another transition to grass. And then when you look at it on the ground, it adds more color into it there. Okay, and actually I might just redo this over here, add that back in there. Alright, now I get the regular grass out, and I'm going to make this a couple sizes bigger and add my grass along here. Now this particular spot in my field, I don't want this shape, so I'm just going to round it off just to fill this in. And I'm probably going to add decorations or another farmhouse or something up in here. Fill all this in. Very good. Now we're going back to the road. And make this smaller again. Put some grass in here. Sometimes it just puts it together. If you kind of go out of quote-unquote bounds a little bit, you can get the grass look in there. So there's little spots here and there, which I really like. Now this one has got this darker gravel, which what I like to do when I have the option here we go. Alright, this has the darker gravel here. So what I like to do when I have this option, not every map has it, but you can see there's a line right here. So I'm going to do a little circle, just kind of add these little spots here. It kind of looks like maybe there's a wet spot or I don't know, shadow or something. It adds a bit of texture depth into the visual for the road. Just kind of move it around here. I think that looks pretty good. Now, off to plants, and I just get my grass, just the regular stuff here. Spread that around. Going along the edge, I'm going to do a bit of a wider swath here. And this can all get filled in. This will get turned into something here. I'm definitely going to make this different, but right now I'm focusing on the road. Okay, now, one of the things that I have downloaded a different mod is some different grass textures, which I really like. This low cut stuff. This one's the middle. The low is kind of low. You could still use it. Actually, that might work slightly better. Then you can get this little bit of grass texture down the middle. Oops. These taller ones are a little annoying. Delete some of that. That looks better. And then I'll put some of this low grass along the edge here. You can see I got a different texture here. I'll do that in just a sec. Put some of this along here. And this really helps with the fade of the height of the grass. I like when I can do this here. What I'm doing here to remove that, just right click and drag, and then that is the undo or the delete. Alright. And then I'm going to go to the high now for this particular mod, and then just feather the edge with this here. And then I'm going to add brush along the side of it. If I go, now I like, these are small, I like these a little bit. Put some of these here. Maybe a smaller one or two. This will be my lane coming in this side. I really like this. Now these are the tall bushes. I might add some of these over on this side. There we go. Maybe a couple here at the entrance. There we go. Now I'm going to add some of my rocks. So you don't need very big ones. Like so. And then back to some of these flowers. Can make it look pretty. Now, here's the road that we just made with the different heights of grass in the middle, different height on the edge, with brush on the outside. You could add some trees as well. Let's jump into my tractor and see how that looks. Back it up. Alright. Driving down the lane. Looks pretty good. I like this. Alright, and that's how I make my lanes to my farms. Spruce it up a bit. Alright guys.